So first off, we talked about this a little bit in the cow. Residents deserve facts. That's what we're here for. It really concerns me when two former employees, one who was a village manager, one who was an assistant village manager, start giving information that's inaccurate. Now, one of them was before my time. He moved here for the job. He left here after the job, moved to Texas. But to compare the vote choice to a mayor council form of government, it's just not true. So we will get those facts out there. The other one I can't talk about because she was actually an employee under my time. I just want to thank Homer Glenn. I also want to thank the staff and the board for all that they've done in the last 4 years in particular. And maybe even 5 years, as it goes back a little bit, but the board's done a lot in the last 4. So we lost 5 anchors 6 months into my term, or 8 months into my term in February of 2018. We lost Carson's, we lost Sears, we lost Carson's, Home Goods, we lost Toys R Us, and Babies R Us. About 550,000 square feet of retail in 1 month. And welcome to being mayor, by the way. We replaced it almost immediately with Von Mauer. We did have something going into Sears. Unfortunately, COVID killed that. But now we see something in the Carson's. We already have the Toys R Us has been redeveloped. And also the Babies R Us has had something move in there and expand. So the only thing we have left is the Sears location, and we're hopeful that that'll get done. But that speaks volumes for Orland Park to see 60%, well, 80% of the stores, but 60% of the space reoccupied in relatively short order. I know it doesn't seem like relatively short order when it's been 4 years, but when you consider that you had 2 years of COVID, when retailers were just reeling, that really does say a lot for Orland Park. And so I want to thank the staff and the board for all their help on that. Also approving Schuessler Park. Long time coming. A reminder, since the 3 trustees who've been here for 4 years have been here, we've restored 26 parks. Before that, we had done one every other year back to 2000. So 26 parks we've done in that time. That doesn't include John Humphrey, which has also been done, Schuessler, which will be done by the end of the year, and Centennial Park West, which will be done by the end of the year. So you think about that. By the end of the year, we will have done 26 renovations, John Humphrey Complex, Schuessler, Centennial Park West, all since 2019, in 4 years. So great work by this board. The pioneers, and remember, a lot of this was blocked before you guys got here. It was the first thing we did was start approving these things. And the pioneers, the movement was blocked as well. And so the pioneers will actually have a home that's built for them for the first time in 50 years. That they will have a practice facility designed for them, which was probably something that we've missed with our other park additions over the years. And so they'll actually have a place. And the nice thing is that field will always be able to be used by soccer, by lacrosse, and other field sports. Also, I want to remind people, of other great things that this staff and this board's done. Our roads, in 2017, our roads, 40% of them were in poor condition. Now it's 17%. With the plan we have going forward, it'll be 5% 5 years from now. That's because of what this board and these trustees have done to get things done. They weathered a lot to make sure it got done, and so you can thank them for that. Remember also that the 3 trustees that have been here for 4 years reduced pay, eliminated pensions for elected officials, and didn't take any pensions either. So done that as well, and transparency. See this? And I realize we had some glitches at first, but you see the technology we have here? When I arrived here, nothing was on video, nothing was on audio. When I tried to put it on video, I was blocked. It took Trustee Healy, Trustee Katsinas, and Trustee Milani stepping up and saying, immediately, we're going to put these things on video so that everyone can see it. And I realize maybe only 100 people watch it, but if you want to watch it, you can. You can always go back and look and see what's done, and that's what transparency in government's all about. So I also want to comment, Ed Schuessler, interim mayor here, as well as a longtime board member and longtime resident, who's part of the Schuessler family. That Schuessler Park is named after his, I believe, his uncle, and he commented about the great customer service he got today in finance over a question and an issue that he had, and he said that didn't used to happen. we have really good people here working and focusing on customer service, which has been an emphasis of the board and of George and of our staff. And so thank you very much for emphasizing that. I can't say enough about the police and iLeap. You know, I know we're one of 20, but we're one of one. We're the best department in the state. Special rec, it's the only place where I can go and miss all my shots and everybody's happy. So I really enjoy that. I'm glad I could come again, and it was back open to everybody. So I look forward to that every year. And lastly, and I know he'll be upset that I bring this up, but I want to thank Rich Miller and Leo for what they do, because it's not publicized, it's not on social media. He didn't want it there, but when unfortunately an officer was killed in Chicago, he was there with that family that night. And it meant a lot to that family, so much so that they've asked him to be there for other things going forward. But sometimes we forget that the toll that takes on Rich, having to be there for all of those people in all those events. So when you see him, and when people out there in the public see him, thank him for what he does. Because it's not easy, because he's there through a lot of people's grief, which is not easy. It's not easy to see all that. So thank him for what he does. And we know we all love Leo, and Rich is great with him, but sometimes we forget about the human toll that has on the handler of Leo. So make sure you thank him for what he does. So